Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. It's the Roger Love Show today. He's the number one vocal coach in America. RogerLove.com is where you can find out all of his services and a lot about him, and uh, and hang out with us for the next few minutes. Jason Derulo, "Kiss the Sky," song written by Madison Love. Well, that's what we're listening to right now. Let me introduce Roger again real quickly. You know him through artists and move films that he's the guy behind the guy or the gal, right, Roger? Uh, so Roger has coached singers such as John Mayer, Selena Gomez, speakers like Anthony Robbins, sports stars like Tom Brady, and actors including Joaquin Phoenix, Reese Witherspoon, Brad Pitt, Keira Knightley, and Bradley Cooper. By the way, that film that you did with Keira Knightley is one of my favorite of all time. I'm looking for the. I've watched it so many times, and now
Begin
I'm
again.
Begin Again. I love that. I
That's
love that
cute.
film.
It's a cute
Yeah,
film.
yeah. And of course, Joaquin Phoenix and Reese Witherspoon for Walk the Line. You know, the Johnny Cash, right? That
And
one.
Bradley for A Star Is Born.
Oh yeah, he's so good in that. It's just amazing. It's just an amazing career you have. I love it. Well, I'm going to turn this over to Ava Lynn. Ava Lynn is our special music artist today. Ava Lynn Thuresson. She's an artist, a singer, songwriter. She was on NBC's The Voice season 22. Team Camila Cabello. You can follow her on Instagram at Ava Lynn Thuresson, Thuresson. You can find Roger Love at rogerlove.com, and all his socials are there as well. So Ava, you're working on new music. You're going to spend the summer in Nashville. I just thought you were the perfect person to talk to Roger a little bit about the craft of songwriting and singing, vocal.
I'm so honored that you brought me onto this. I mean, this is like incredible to meet such like a superstar. Um, I I'm initially blown away just like by the range of voices that you've worked with. Like going from Beach Boys to like Stevie Wonder. I really would love to hear like what exactly you hone in on to like pull each individual like unique voice out. And then also, sorry, this is kind of double like and double-edged sword, but how do you keep like the authenticity of voices while also like having that sort of like technicality to a voice, if that makes any sense.
Two great questions. First of all, it's not my job to take a singer or a speaker and make them sound like somebody else. My job is to catch them wherever they are. So if they've been putting out records or they have a sound already, if I took a celebrity, if I took Gwen Stefani, who's one of my students, in the heyday of No Doubt and her career, and I thought, well, she sings a little nasal maybe, and I thought, oh, just get rid of that nasality. Well, what about all the millions of people that love exactly the way she sounds right there? So I'm not the guy that comes in and totally changes the style. I sort of get into what's unique about that artist, what is already special about that artist, and then I help them make the sounds that they want without straining, without having pressure in the range, hit higher notes than they could before, lower notes. I'm like an instrument builder. I'm like a piano builder. The artist comes to me and they're already, let's say, a piano. And they have so many keys and they're so much in tune. And then I just sort of build the rest of the keys that are not there and I tune it up more. So it's really that I'm building the instrument of the artist instead of taking them in a different stylistic choice. So I already know what's special about them and I work within those sounds to then make it greater.
What do you think it is about an artist that makes it really easy for you to work with? Like, do you think it's just their ability to listen to you and do exactly what you say, or is it their ability to kind of like push and pull and make things their own? Like, what is it about what makes an artist like a good student in a way?
Literally, that's a super question. Nobody's ever asked me that. And the one thing that makes a great student is that they practice what I tell them. that I say, here's what you need to practice. Make these sounds and you will achieve this. And the ones that just listen to me and practice what I tell them and practice it a lot, those are the great students. Jeremiah, you mentioned that I did Bradley Cooper for A Star is Born and how great he sounded. Well, that's because he came every single day, 5 days a week for 90 minutes and did a lesson with me 5 days a week for 6 months, maybe 7 months. And then that night, every night after the lesson, he would go home and practice maybe another hour and a half, work on the songs, maybe 2 hours. So commitment to practicing the new skill that you're learning is all it takes to be a great student and all it takes to have results. If I took someone that early on in their career, wherever they were in their career, but early on, and this person was sort of like, had an amazing voice that Mother Nature gave them, right? They're young, they have an amazing voice. And this person has nothing. Mother Nature forgot them, turned her back on this person. So this person has nothing as a kid, and this person has seemingly like everything. They open up their mouth and it already sounds amazing. And then I try to teach them, if the person who was born with jewels doesn't practice, doesn't love singing, doesn't work at it, then this other person who does practice, does exercises, overcome the weaknesses, they exceed the level and they end up as a million times better singer, artist, performer than the person that was born with it. So to be a great singer, for example, or a speaker, you have to, it's a combination of nature and nurture. Turns out that nurture is even more valuable than nature.
I was actually just about to ask about Bradley Cooper in his process of A Star is Born, because I remember watching it with my mom. All of our hearts were melting, such a heartthrob. But I mean, he sounded incredible. He sounded like a true country singer. And I almost wonder what his like mental process was. I mean, obviously you said he put into the work, he put in the work, but I mean, to go from, at least as far as I know, not a singer to a really incredible singer, like I'm sure you were along, you rode that wave with him. Like what was that transition like for him?
Gradual, and he's very talented, but he was never a singer. He loves music. When he was growing up, I think for his 8th or 10th birthday, which is interesting because of this Maestro film, but early on in his life, his parents said, "What do you want for your birthday?" And he says, "I want a conductor's baton." And he used to stand on his bed and play music in his room, and he used to conduct when he was a little kid. So he always loved music, but he'd never really sung. So it was literally, the reason that people aren't comfortable with singing is when they open up their mouth and they try to hit notes, they don't think it sounds good. They can't hit all the notes. They're off pitch. It doesn't have a good tone. So once you build an instrument where they can hit all the notes, once you create things like vibrato, and once you give them chest voice, middle voice, and head voice, and they have a range, well, when they open up their mouth, they start hearing sounds that are more likable. Not just likable to anyone else that's listening, but likable to them, and they start to build a singer's confidence. Just like a pole vaulter's confidence. If I have practiced and practiced, and I know when the time comes for me to touch the tip of that pole into the spot on the ground, that I can lift myself up and go over, I have confidence. So if I'm a singer or a wannabe singer, the more I hit the notes and the more I listen back and record it and it starts to sound good, I start to build confidence. But I build that confidence first by just making the exercises sound good. So I don't let anybody sing right away. Just do the exercises, do the exercises, do the exercises. But it's not like piano where you practice exercises for like 40 years and then you're like, okay, the teacher says, here's a song. It's fast, but I still get the exercises to sound good. And then they have a little bit of confidence. Oh, I just hit that high note. Okay, well, let's put that in a song. So I can't change anybody's voice and make them anything unless I can change their physicality, their mentality, and that's how I can change their voice. I have to change their physicality and their mentality.
Right. The mental aspect is huge. I mean,
Huge.
As far as I know, like, yeah, I mean, I feel like I have a completely different voice than what I was born with just because of I feel more confident in it now. I've sung with it a million times. I'm still honing in on certain things that I love about it. I was going to say I your job is so selfless. I mean, you're constantly helping people. You're constantly putting in so much effort to get people's voices to where they want it to be and to be better. Is there an aspect to it that you put into your own singing and your own songwriting and you're a teacher but you're also a musician and a lover of music like everyone else, like what aspect do you take home?
I spent the first 20 years of my life really honing myself as an artist and as a songwriter. And then I made a conscious decision that that's great. I'm going to sing for the rest of my life and maybe I'll write songs for the rest of my life too. But I was going to take what I learned and what I was learning and that I was going to teach other people how to find their voices. And it's the greatest decision I ever made in my life. So how does it, my whole upbringing, I mean, I was an opera singer when I was 17 years old. I was at 17 years old, I was picked the number one voice in the state of California, and every college offered me scholarships to come sing opera. And then when I got to college, I was like, oh, this opera stuff's really not that cool. Nothing against those listeners that love opera. I still love opera. But I was thinking, it's not really for me. I think I'll be a rock star. And so I went, overnight, I went from, hey, you're singing opera your whole life to now, why don't you sing some rock and roll? And so my path from being a classical singer to being able to sing any style of music to then being able to teach any artist that comes to me. I mean, I taught Eminem. I could teach rap. Was I a good rapper? No. But did I have the background of learning all kinds of music? It's all unique and it's all notes and sounds. So my whole life has led me up to be able to do what I do now with other people.
That's amazing. I feel like that's a true testament to the music industry. You never know what you're gonna end up doing, but as long as you love it, it's great.
Well, I mean, look at the people that you've worked with. You got to go like this all the pinch yourself all the time, I'm sure. Just
No,
an
but
amazement
sometimes
that
it's
you've added so much to their careers.
well,
And
it's I'm happy to help. You know, sometimes it's really funny. When you mentioned Keira Knightly, I remember, I have this sort of a big screen here, and I remember one time I was teaching Keira Knightly, and I just, we were doing a Zoom session, and I'm looking, and there's Keira Knightly on my big screen, and I had to remind myself that I wasn't watching a movie. I did Brad Pitt for Babylon, and there was a scene where he had to sing. We actually did this amazing song where we sang "Return to Sorrento," and in Italian. And it got edited almost out that he just sang the first line. But I actually got Brad Pitt to sing this whole amazing Italian art song in Italian, and he sounded like it was amazing. So it's sometimes I'll be looking on the screen, I'll be thinking, am I watching a movie?
the music artists won't like this, but you're almost kind of like the chicken and the egg. Like, which comes first, Roger Love and Gwen Stefani, or Gwen Stefani
They
and
they
Roger
all
Love?
they all came first. They all
Yes,
came first, and then I'm more like
artists. You're the
seasoning.
artist.
I'm just
Okay, I
seasoning.
like
I'm
that.
just oh
You're
oh that's a
seasoning
nice
on
little bit of
eggs.
ground salt.
All right, let's take another real quick break. This is good. I'm only a minute late this time. If you want to speak or sing, or if this interview has inspired you to do both of those things, here's what Roger Love is offering the listeners of the Jeremiah Show as a gift. It's only for you. There is a $50 gift certificate waiting for you right now. So go to voiceplace.com/Jeremiah. Again, voiceplace.com/Jeremiah. You're going to claim your gift certificate, and then you're going to go use it to get your hands on the training program that's perfect for you, specifically for you and what you want to achieve with your voice. So go now, claim your $50 gift certificate at voiceplace.com/Jeremiah, and check out during the break as you're listening, by the way, to Madison Love and Machine Gun Kelly, Camila Cabello, Bad Things. Madison wrote the song, right? Does she sing in the song, Roger?
I don't think she sings in that one.
Yeah, I don't think so. But we are coming up at the end. We're featuring her song with Machine Gun Kelly, Wasted Love. And Madison Love does sing in that, and she's excellent. Okay, so again, Machine Gun Kelly, Camila Cabello, Bad Things. Ava Lynn Thuresson is our special music guest. Roger Love is our special guest today. Learn from Roger Love, the #1 vocal coach in America. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.